What's up, dude? Did you do your cardio today? I don't think you did. See, I just got back from the gym and I was thinking, a lot of people be hating on cardio for no reason. Well, there is a reason, but for a lot of people, it breaks down to a reason that they don't want to hear. If we're being real, a lot of people, whenever you tell them, like, hey, why don't you do cardio, man? Like, you see somebody in the gym, dudes, sometimes they're like jacked, right? They're like, benching 315 plus, and it's like you ask them and you're like, hey, you lift a lot and you go to the gym a lot, why don't you do cardio? I don't know if this is like a real idea in people's minds anymore, but some people say I don't want to lose muscle, and it's like, all right, man. Like, I think if you ask somebody to do cardio and their response is cardio makes you lose muscle, you already know they don't know what cardio is and they haven't done much of it ever outside of sports. I think one of the biggest misconceptions about cardio comes from sports, because whenever you do a sport and you have to do like conditioning with it, a lot of the times what the coaches are going to have you do is something that's very vigorous and is going to get your heart rate like super high, and they want you to stay there for like 5 to 15 minutes probably. Like, sometimes conditioning is a lot longer. Like, it can be up to 30 minutes or something. But then you think about it and you're like, a lot of people's only experience with cardio is just pain. Like, it just fucking sucks. You know, like, I did basketball for one season, and basically our whole cardio for most of the season was just sprinting up and down the court a ton, and a lot of people would get like really out of breath, and the coach was like, yeah, that's good conditioning, right? The thing is I guess people just don't realize that you can do way less and still get like the same benefit, right? Or like close to the same benefit. For example, zone 2 cardio. Zone 2 cardio is supposed to be very low intensity, steady state, right? LISS. I don't know who uses that acronym, but you keep your heart rate 60 to 70% range, which for a lot of people is going to be around like 120 to 140 or probably lower. You just stay at that level for 30 to 60 minutes, even longer if you really want to, and it is very easy. Like, it is not hard to do. It's one of those, it's like walking pretty much. You're able to keep a conversation. You just do that for like an hour, half an hour, 45 minutes. It doesn't really matter. As long as you just do it consistently, like 2 or 3 times a week, dude, that's cardio. That's going to help like a lot. And I don't understand why, if you go on like YouTube and you look up like fitness influencers, right? There's so many fitness influencers that don't say a lick about cardio, and if they do, they disrespect the shit out of it. There is many motherfuckers who be hating on cardio, dude. Absolutely hate. It's frustrating, man, because I was one of those people. I was one of those people where whenever I first started going to the gym, my gym partner that I was with was always like, yeah, fuck cardio. We're not going to do cardio. We don't need that. That's for pussies, right? Like, stupid, teenager shit like that. Now I realize that, like, dude, if I had been doing consistent cardio in the gym whenever I started, I would be like a freaking, not like a professional athlete, but I would be pretty dang, durable. I would have some endurance on me, man. I'd be running them 5Ks easy. But I can't. That's the downside. I didn't do cardio, and now I can't do that stuff. And you might think, well, what do I need to do cardio for? Like, some people, they don't need to lose fat. They feel really healthy because they already work out at the gym by lifting weights, and they just feel like they don't need cardio, right? But even for people who go to the gym a lot, and I can relate to this, is that you ever like just do something that is pretty normal throughout your daily life. Like, sometimes you have to move furniture, right? Or you got to walk up a couple flights of stairs. You ever just go up a little too fast, and by the time you get like to the top of the stairs, or you put that piece of furniture down and you're just not gassed, but like just a little out of breath. You just, just a little, out of breath. that can be fixed. I have a solution for you to make your life just a little bit easier. Cardio. That's the solution. Just do a little bit of cardio, man. Just I don't care if you walk. If you just walk around, if you walk for a mile, like a couple times a week, dude, you're killing it. Like you don't have to be, in the gym, freaking pushing as hard as you can, sweat drip, just drenching your face, just absolutely like dead by the time you're over. Because if you do that multiple times a week, you're gonna burn out and you're gonna hate cardio, or you're gonna have a heart attack. Like one of the two. And you don't see a lot of people in the gym just do light cardio. Head in for a light cardio session. It's also one of those things where I think once you're done with a session where you're doing like zone 2 cardio, you might finish it and think, well, this was a wasted session. I didn't even do anything. But that's the sick part, right? So if you really think about this, you have parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic, rest and digest, sympathetic, fight or flight response, right? So when does that like switch over is the question I'm posing here. When do you go from inactive to active? It's like a spectrum. It's obviously not like a switch, but with the zone 2 cardio, where you're just going at a pace where you're moving quite a bit, but you're still able to keep a conversation, you're not getting out of breath, you're not really pushing yourself all that hard. You're staying in the point where you're still using your parasympathetic nervous system, so you're still resting technically. But because you're moving, you're improving circulation, which actually boosts resting. Don't check me on the science for that, but I'm pretty sure it's true. But yeah, bottom line of this video, do your cardio. Stop hating on cardio. It's almost necessary, I would say, for every single person. I'm pretty sure that every single person needs to do some sort of cardio. Somebody's gonna give me an exception of like somebody with no arms or legs, and they're like, well, what about them? Do they do cardio? It's like, I don't know, man. Alright. That's the end of this video. So thank you so much if you watched all the way through. I really do appreciate it. But other than that, I will see you later. Goodbye.